Okay, friends, I'm going to show you how you make your own starter. So for those people that have been asking me, where do you get that yeast or that starter? It's not a yeast. This is something you make. You don't buy this in the store. So I'm going to show you how you can start your own and how you can always have your own for sourdough bread. When you see me putting on different breads or sweet bread or cornbread, the starter that I make, this is what I'm talking about. So I need half a cup of water. I have too much in here. Half a cup of water. And you want to use bottled water. You don't want water that is from osmosis, none of that. And then we need 1 cup of bread flour. This is the flour I use. I buy this, it comes in 2 packs at Costco. But if you can't find this, it's organic, unbleached bread flour. King Arthur is a good brand to use if you can get access to it. So that's 2, 3. This is a 1/4 cup, so that's why. Okay? This is how you start your own starter. And this can last for years. And I mean years. I have a recipe. I will leave the recipe and all the steps that you need to do to make your own starter. I did mine, like I said, 2 years ago. I wanted to start it. It took me a while. It took me almost about 3 to 4 weeks before that starter could really develop. Okay, and you mix it in a jar or in a container that you can see the growth. So this is how you want. You don't want too thick. It's kind of thick. See, this is the whole starter. Because again, I've said that as it sits, it gets softer. So we're gonna do this today. I'm just gonna put the lid on top. I'm gonna leave it on the counter. Tomorrow, I come back. I take half of this. And I put half a cup, and I have it in the directions. You put half of everything again. And you do this for a couple weeks until it develops. I'm gonna try to do it so I can show you at the end of this video so you know. I already have a recipe making the starter from beginning to end. But for those people that keep asking me, where can I buy that? You can't buy it. I mean, there is people who are selling them. And I have a lady that I bought it one time. I might add it. Her contact at the end of the video so you guys can, if you don't want to bother with this, you can always order hers. I try to do my own. The county doesn't allow it. So anyway, so I'm going to leave this in back of my counter all day today. Tomorrow I'll feed it and I'll show you. Okay, friends, it is my second day to feed my starter that I started yesterday. I just put water and all-purpose flour. But I want to show you how you know that this is working. We just put flour and water yesterday. Look all these bubbles. See all these bubbles? Already starting to ferment. So this is gonna be, you're gonna have a good starter right away with this. And today, and as you can see, we didn't mark it yesterday because I didn't think it was gonna do this. Mine didn't do this, mine didn't move. We're gonna put a rubber band around and we're gonna mark it where we leave the starter today, and then we'll see if it grows. But So today we're gonna remove half of this starter and then we're gonna add it. And this is another way. Wow, I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. Look all those bubbles in there, all this. This starter, this is already fermenting and it's already getting there. Mine never got this way, but then again, I'm using a different flour. That's why I said flour matters. Use bread flour, organic bread flour. So this, I'm not going to throw it away. Okay, so I want a little bit more, because the more you take, you're gonna have to add it the same amount back. Okay, so I'm gonna add this. I have a 1/4 cup of water. And then I'm gonna mix this to kind of start incorporating that flour and all that. Start loosening all that starter. And then we're gonna add 1/2 cup of flour. The same flour you start, you use the same flour. If your starter is established and you've had it for a while, sometimes you can switch, but most of the time, keep the same flour. I am really shocked how this, in one day, it did what it did. Can't wait to see what tomorrow will be. And I didn't name this starter yet, but I'm gonna name them my friends, because this starter is for all of you. All of you out there that are helping me by commenting, by liking, by watching my videos. Okay, so I need 1/2 cup of the same flour I started. This is a 1/4 cup. I need another one. And we're gonna combine all this until there is no flour. And you want kind of that same consistency. Okay, and when you don't see no more flour, push it all down, everything, to try to clean your jar. That is done. I'm gonna go with a spatula, kind of just try to clean the jar so I can mark it and you can see tomorrow how it rise, if it did rise. Okay, and it's in that same consistency that we did yesterday. If you do this, I'm going to put a rubber band around it where it started. Okay, so it's right here. So you're going to put this rubber band, you're going to put the lid back again, just on top. Don't press it down. You need air, because that's what it's going to bring all the stuff to make it grow. We're just going to put it on top. I'm going to put it in my counter. And tomorrow, we're going to see what's going to happen. I'm really shocked how well it did today. That just in one day, it had that much activity. So now this, you can toss it. I don't. I saved all this. I'm going to go get the one I have, and I'm going to add this. because I haven't fed it for a while, so it needs to. And you can use that for your backup. Friends, this is what we call discard. Discard is what you take out when you feed your starter. This is my discard. I haven't been using discard in a long time, so I need to start using this. And this has been in my fridge for 6 months. And I always forget that I have it, and I need to start using it. But it forms this, I don't know if you can see, there's a this dark liquid. This is called pooch. This is a sign that this is hungry, and so it needs some food. So that discard, this that I just took it now, I'm gonna put it in there, and you can use this. You can use this to do anything. Even if you make regular bread, you know, you see me do cornbread. If I don't have a starter, I can use this and still use my regular yeast, the yeast that we buy in the store. I use that in my cornbread still. I don't just rely on this. And this is very sour. It gives that sour flavor. You can do pancakes, you can do anything with this. But my husband likes nothing sour, so that's why I keep forgetting how to make stuff with this. I'm gonna have to get my granddaughter here, and we're gonna have to make some stuff. But what I want to explain to you was my good starter. One time I grabbed the wrong flour. I had bleached flour, and I put it in my starter. It never did anything. It didn't grow, and it was not normal. Well, because I put that bleached flour, it killed the good bacteria. Otherwise, I would have to start a whole new one, but because I had this as a backup, all I did is I took some of this, fed it for a couple times, and that's what I have. That started that you've seen me use. So, anyway, so because I add that flour, it should be okay for now for a little bit. But I keep this in my refrigerator for, like I said, 6 months. I haven't even touched this. It's a backup, you know, you have it. And once you feed it, it will be alive. So, anyway, and this one's going back. So you can save your discard, or you can throw it away. It's up to you. But because every day you have to take a little bit out of it and you add it, it's kind of a waste. And you can use this, anything you need, yeast, and you want, you know, it gives a different flavor. Pancakes, bread, pizzas, anything. You can use the other yeast, but add this to give the sourness. I hope you understand. So anyway, so tomorrow I'll show you my friends is doing. Okay? I'll show you tomorrow. I couldn't help do this. I can't wait until tomorrow. This morning, I fed this starter what I called my friends. My second day. This is my second day for my starter. I fed it. Put more water, more flour. Do you see what I mean? What I see? It has double. My second day. Look at this. Look. This starter is alive. I am so excited. This is my friends. That's the name of this starter. And I couldn't help it to share with you. So tomorrow, I'm going to leave it. Tomorrow, I'm going to feed it again. It still doesn't have the sourness that you want. So you're going to keep feeding. But there is stuff alive in here. Look all these bubbles. Do you see this? This is my second day. We just made this yesterday. Water and flour. So if I can do it, you can do it too. I'll show you tomorrow what we'll do. It's my 4th day of my starter. Once I start my starter. And I want to show you. It has doubled in size. And look at this. You see it in there? You see, this thing is alive. So anyway, so we're gonna take another half of this starter. See how soft it got? When we started, it's hard. And the other thing is, it starts smelling kind of sour already. Okay? So you do this, and once you start seeing that smell, kind of sour, not just flour, that's when you know your starter is getting there. So I'm going to put another 1/4 cup of water. We're going to stir this till it's all mixed, and then we had 1/2 cup of flour. We do this every time you want to get your starter. So we're on 4th day. This is how my starter is. So if your starters start doubling in size, and you start smelling that sourness, the more sour you smell, the stronger your starter is. I would say maybe on day 7, try to make some bread. Just to see if it does anything. And I have a recipe coming up with a sourdough, so you can follow that recipe. And I'm just going to leave it for 1 loaf, the recipe for 1 loaf. The ones I make is for 4. But anyway, so we're going to lower down the rubber band, put the lid, and leave it on the counter 1 more time. And we'll try it again tomorrow. I fed my starter this morning. This is what a full starter, you know, it has triple in size. Look at this. See all this? And it is going down. It is alive. Good morning, friends. Here's our friend. She overflown last night. She overflown all over this bowl. Good thing I put this bowl. So I'm gonna try to make some bread today. It's been the 7th day, and I want to see what kind of bread we're gonna get. Anyway, so we need 100 grams of starter for 1 loaf of bread. Okay, that's 100. I'm gonna zero up. I need 325 grams of water. I'm gonna mix the starter with the water. Now I zero out again. We need salt. We need 10 grams of salt. Zero out. We need 500 grams of flour. Mix everything. And then once this is all mixed, I'm gonna let this here sit and do my stretch and folds. I'm not gonna show you all that because I have videos with bread. I just wanna show if this starter is ready to make bread. That's show you how you know when it's ready. Okay? I mix all this. I'm gonna leave it aside, and and then I'll show you. Okay friends, I washed my jar, and now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put half of this into my jar, and we're gonna feed it. And then I'm gonna keep this in the refrigerator until I need it next time. Okay? I'm gonna put my quarter cup of water, mix it. We do the same thing like we've been doing for the past 7 days. You can smell this starter already. And now we put half a cup of flour. You can see, this is what I got. And now my jar is all nice and clean. My starter's ready. I'm gonna put the lid, and this is gonna go in the refrigerator until next time that I need to use it. The next time I need to use it, I take it out, I feed it again, and once it doubles in size like it's been doing, then you're ready to bake. Now, with this part right here, that instead of me throwing it away, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna share this with any of my subscribers. I'm gonna feed this. I'm gonna let this come to a double in size, and then I'm going to dehydrate it, and then I'm gonna put it in little bags. If you want to get some of Frank's starter, you subscribe to my channel, you share my videos on Facebook, Instagram, or in TikTok if you have TikTok, whatever social medias you have, and then leave a comment on the bottom. I want a friend, and I will pick somebody to send some of my starter that I will dehydrate. So once I pick somebody, I will have to get your contact, and I will ship this to whatever it is that you leave your comment. You leave your comment, you need to subscribe, share my video, share this video, and leave a comment that you want the French starter. Okay? Let's see if we can get some winners that can win this starter. Until next time, let's get cooking. Have a good day. Here it is, friends, my bread from my starter, my friend. It looks good. I think it still needed to rise a little bit more, but that's my first loaf out of 1 week of starting my starter. So you need patience, and well, it'll get there. I think it needs to develop a little bit more, but it made a beautiful bread. So you give it a try.